With each new day,
Families are failing.
homes are broken,
Marriages are threatened.
fathers are absent,
Children are rebellious.
but all is not lost,
Homes can be healed.
and hearts can be mended. Let's reclaim our families for heaven.
Thank you for watching Families for Heaven. I'm Alanza Smith, and my co-host is June Smith. And we're discussing ingredients that build a happy marriage.
Marriage is under siege. Invariably, when you find children or young people who exhibit deviant behavior, you can trace it back to the family. So it is critical that we have strong marriages, hence strong families.
There are a lot of people who are getting married these days. As a matter of fact, one statistic has it as anywhere between 85 to 90% of the U.S. population will get married at one point or another.
These couples do intend and desire to remain married forever.
Unfortunately, not all couples know how to form and sustain marriage to allow it to last for a lifetime.
Now, in previous generations, when we talked about marriage, the concept was we have the nuclear family. You had a mother and a father, and there were children. But in this society, the family structure has become so complex.
And marriage is becoming more fragile as a result of this complexity. These days, marriages are becoming more difficult and more fragile.
In fact, it is said that 37% of the married population exists as single families. That is, they eventually fall apart.
This is a strong indication that the two-parent family is on the decline.
87% of Asian children live in two-parent homes. And it doesn't mean that these parents are married.
Among Caucasians, the percentage is less. 76% of Caucasians live in a two-parent home.
And then we have 70% of Hispanic and Latino families that live in two-parent homes.
But it keeps going down. Among African Americans, it's only 42% of children live in a two-parent family.
30% of all children, it is said, at some time in their development, will live with a step-parent.
The only conclusion that one can draw from all of these statistics that we're giving you, taken from the Bureau of Census, is that the nuclear family is on a rapid declension.
The healthy marriage, however, is considered the key to a healthy society. So you will agree we have a problem.
Yes, we do. But marriages can be strong and healthy. We want to focus today on the ingredients. Here with us we have a lovely couple. We have Arturo and Loretta Haywood. Won't you help me welcome them on our show?
Thank you. Thank you.
You folks have been married for a good while now, and I suspect you have a family. Tell us a little about yourselves.
Well, let me just first say thank you for inviting my wife and I to your show, and it's a pleasure to be here. My marriage is pretty much a long time. We've been married now for about 32 years. We have 5 children, 10 grandchildren, and 2 great-grands.
Loretta, Can you think of any of the ingredients or anything that you put in your marriage that helped to make it last so long?
Well, one of the ingredients are we don't fight in front of our children.
Oh.
Right. We have learned not to.
It's not proper. Even sometimes you send the children to their rooms, you know, and they suspect that something is happening, so their ears are still cocked to listen. So, you know, to argue in front of them, we've come to learn is not only if they're sitting in front of us, but sometimes even when they're in their rooms, it's best to just pull it aside and leave it till when the time is appropriate to really discuss the matter or to argue out of their presence.
Okay. Well, so one of the ingredients in your marriage is that you don't argue in front of the children.
Right.
Can you think of any other?
Well, one of the things that has really strengthened our marriage is the honesty that we put into it.
Okay.
All right? I've come to learn over the years that when you are honest with your wife, when you are open with your wife, you gain more respect from her, you gain more respect from your children, because they see a relationship that is pure, they see a relationship that is honest, because we don't hide anything from one another. You know, I am open with my wife, I'm open with my children, and that seems to strengthen our marriage even more.
And also, we don't play tit for tat.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, that's good.
Right, right. We don't. I never get back on him for something that he
Trying
has
to
done.
get even.
Right, trying to get even with him, and we have learned to live that way for years.
Can I
right?
ask you a personal question?
Yes.
Was it love at first sight?
Yes.
Oh.
But I'm sure that grew as the relationship
Yes, it did.
got mature.
Yes, it did.
One of the other things we have also learned to do in the whole scope of our marriage is sometimes, you know, you see things happening, and instead of just trying to stay there and fight it out, sometimes it's best to walk away and leave things to be by themselves. This way you get a chance to refocus on whether you are wrong or whether the other party is wrong. And most of the time when you walk away, you will find that sometimes you might be the guilty person.
You give yourself pause.
Right.
You think about it, and sometimes you find you are even able to go and say, I'm sorry.
Absolutely,
Yes.
because when you can say I'm sorry, you know, it breaks down that macho-ness as far as men are concerned, that self-eagerness, that where you picture yourself as being the superior person, you know, and it makes the wife also to understand that, yes, at least he has some kind of a humility about himself, and it works both ways. It works both ways.
Very good.
Is it easy for you to say you're sorry, Loretta?
Yes, it is very easy for me to say that I'm
And-
sorry. I
guess that's why
usually
your
do. Yes,
That's
I
why your marriage
usually-
lasted 32
yes,
years, right?
that's correct. Yes, I'm the first to admit that I did something wrong.
Okay.
Good for you.
That's
Yes.
beautiful. And you know, it's a healthy thing to do. A lot of people, and as you rightly say, especially we males, we tend to think, you know, it's like, it's not becoming a man
Right.
to say I'm sorry, but it's a good thing to do. Honey, I'm sorry.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
you'll be surprised to know the impact it has on the wife when a husband can say he's sorry. You know, it's something about the male ego that when a man is in a situation where he's confronted with a problem, he doesn't want to yield to say I'm sorry, you know, because I'm the man. You know, I am not going to bend. But when you back off and you can say I'm sorry,
Makes a big
it makes a
difference.
big difference.
We're so happy that you could come on and talk with us about the health of your marriage, and we are happy for you. We pray and wish you God's blessing, and that you'll have more than 32 more happy marriage lives.
If God's willing, it will happen.
Thank you for coming
Thank
on.
you.
We're
Thank
We're
you.
going to take a break, but we have some more guests for you as we continue to talk about the ingredients of a happy marriage.